Hello everyone. Welcome to our podcast, where we dive into the world of learning and mastering the English language. I'm Julia, your host for today's episode. I'm very happy to have you join us on this journey. Today, we'll be discussing my personal experience with learning English, sharing tips, strategies, and the importance of embracing this global language. Whether you're a beginner or looking to improve your skills, this podcast is for you. So, let's dive in. To kick things off, let me tell you a little about myself. I started learning English as a second language when I was very young. Just like many of you, I faced numerous challenges, from understanding grammar rules to building vocabulary and gaining confidence in speaking. But through persistence and the right methods, I was able to overcome these obstacles. And today, I'm here to share my story and help you on your journey to mastering English. Now, first and foremost, let's talk about the importance of learning English. English is the most widely spoken language in the world, serving as a bridge between people from different cultures and backgrounds. It's the primary language of business, science, technology, and international communication. By learning English, you open doors to endless opportunities, whether it's advancing in your career, traveling, or simply connecting with people globally. Now, let's dive into my journey. When I began learning English, the first and most crucial step was to immerse myself in the language. This meant surrounding myself with English in every possible way. I watched English movies, listened to English music, and read English books. Immersion is key because it helps you get used to the sounds, rhythms, and structures of the language. So, my tip for you is to find content you enjoy in English. It could be anything from watching your favorite TV shows to listening to podcasts like this one. Another important aspect of learning English is building your vocabulary. When I started, I made it a habit to learn a few new words every day. I used flashcards and mobile apps to help me remember them. But it wasn't just about memorizing words, it was about using them in context. I kept a journal where I would write sentences using the new words I learned. This practice not only helped me remember the words better, but also improved my writing skills. So, my advice is to start a vocabulary journal and try to use new words in your daily conversations. Now, speaking of conversations, practicing speaking is another vital step. I know it can be intimidating to speak in a new language, especially if you're afraid of making mistakes. But remember, making mistakes is part of the learning process. When I was learning, I joined English-speaking clubs and online communities where I could practice speaking with others. This not only improved my fluency but also boosted my confidence. So, don't be afraid to speak up, even if you're not perfect. Practice makes progress. Next, grammar is another area that can be challenging for beginners. I struggled with it too, especially with all the rules and exceptions. What helped me was breaking down grammar into manageable chunks. Instead of trying to learn everything at once, I focused on one aspect at a time. For example, I would spend a week mastering present tense before moving on to past tense. I also used online resources and grammar books to practice. Remember, it's okay to take your time with grammar. Consistency is more important than speed. Next, listening skills are equally important. To improve my listening skills, I started listening to English podcasts, audiobooks, and news channels. At first, it was difficult to understand everything, but I didn't give up. I listened to the same content multiple times, gradually understanding more with each listen. One useful tip is to start with content that has subtitles or transcripts. This way, you can follow along and catch words or phrases you might have missed. Improving your listening skills will greatly enhance your overall comprehension. Now, to sum up, learning English is a journey that requires patience, persistence, and practice. Immersing yourself in the language, building your vocabulary, practicing speaking, mastering grammar, and improving your listening skills are all essential steps to success. Remember, everyone makes mistakes along the way, and that's perfectly okay. The important thing is to keep going and never give up. So, my dears, thank you so much for joining me today and listening to my story on how I learned English. I hope you found these tips helpful and feel inspired to continue your own learning journey. If you enjoyed this podcast, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others who might benefit from it. Your support means the world to us. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll be diving into more tips and strategies to help you master the English language. Until then, keep practicing, stay positive, and remember that every step you take brings you closer to your goal. Have a wonderful day, and happy learning!